Alright, so welcome back to the second video on advanced filtering in Business Central. Right, if you are watching, if you have watched the previous video I uploaded, you'll see that we explained the fundamental in using set range and set filter in Business Central, right? And you also see that we were unable to complete the video, so this is the continuation of the previous video. So if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe. I offer Business Central education videos specifically on AL development, right? So that being said, now let's continue. The last time we wanted to use a set range for this quantity, but one way or the other we are unable to achieve that. But at the end of the video, we're able to use set filter to achieve that purpose. So I also want to show an example using a set range. So if I do a set range on document type, so what I did before was I added 4, then dots, then the range, which doesn't work. I mean quantity, sorry, quantity. Right, so I wanted to spool quantity that is starting from the range of 4 and above, let's say 4 to 500, right? So that is only the data I want to retrieve. Remember that the first filter is already looking at the document type of order and codes, but the next data is supposed to retrieve between 4 and 500. But while I did it this way, it didn't work because you can see I cannot convert a text to the type of argument decimal, right? So the way to actually do this is I put my 4. So this means that I want to set a range between 4 and what? 500. Exactly. So this is the way to define that kind of arguments. Alright, so let's see if this will give me the same results as the first. So I'll go ahead and publish. Alright, so while we're publishing, let's see the output. So in other words, you should have gotten an idea or the differences between the set range and set filter, right? I can only set between a specific integer range, right? But with set filter, I can go as creative as I can go as greater than, less than, equals to. I can put so many conditions within my set filter, so that makes set filter more advanced than the set range and the get record. Alright, so the last record we got 10, if I'm right, we got 10 data. Let's see, Ctrl C. Right, we got, we got 10. This is not correct yet. Alright, so we have 14 rows, right? But at the end of the day, we are checking the quantity that is above 4, or from 4 and above. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we could also do this like this. Let's come here to filter on quantity. So in this case, we want to say the quantity is greater than 4, right? So now we can get our data. So we have 10 rows, right? So on the front end, I only check the condition if the quantity is greater than 10, and the result is 10, right? So let's check what our code says. So our code also confirmed that it is 10. So that is a way to achieve that. Alright, so another scenario I want to pass here is you can see at this point I was actually searching by one of the primary key. So one of the important things to do when you're actually retrieving data from other fields. You can see like I did with quantity, right? I could also, yeah, so before I digress, so I could do this dot set current key. Alright, so I'd explained this current key in one of my video, but I like to also introduce it today. So what this set current key does is that when I use this keyword set current key, I can specify some other fields that are not technically the primary key or the secondary key to this data. So what it does is that it makes retrieving of that data faster, because it's more like a radar. When I'm ready to retrieve the data, it's automatically brings the should I say the retrieving component. It puts the focus on the key that I specify here. So I could say I want to set the current key on quantity, but before quantity, let me first of all say document type, even though this is a primary key already, but because of it is part of my primary key, so I could do it this way. So I want to set my current key on these two fields so that my data retrieving would be faster. So this is just like a best practice, right? So let's see what other scenario could we do. All right, so let's what can we do? I believe we have touched the set range, set filter. What other scenario could we possibly do? Okay, so let's do it this way. Now we want to retrieve whatever customer is responsible for this sales. Alright, so let's go to the front end first. Let's see how it works. So let's see if there's a way to retrieve the customer. So I can see the customer is 200, 400, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. Alright, so right now I want to get a distinct customer, right? So distinct customer is that for all of these 10 lines of order, I want to know which customer is responsible, right? So if I should repeat, I'm going to get repetition because I have 2000, I have 4000, I have a couple of hundreds, I have 3000, I have a couple of hundreds again. So let's try to retrieve all of this data. Alright, so if I want to achieve that, this will be quite different because I'd already filtered by the sales codes, sales order, and also quantity above 500. The only thing I just want to do is I also want to get the record of my customers. I want to know which customer is responsible for all of these transactions. Alright, so how can I achieve that? So I'll be needing either an array or a list or a JSON object, any one of them. So but for today I'm going to be retrieve distinct customer. Alright, so I'm going to create a list of say code yeah. Alright, since I can retrieve that name directly from here, I mean a list of I think that is So I can't create a list of codes, but I can create a list of text. So once again, let's look at what we want to achieve. We can't get the name of the customer, but we can get this. Let's go back. Alright, so we already know that while repeating through this, through the individual data that is coming, there is always a customer attached to it, but we only want to get a distinct customer, not a duplicate customer. So I can say for this 10 transaction, only 4 customer is responsible for this 10 sales that I had made. Alright, so what I can do here is I can make a decision, a case statement. Then with this case statement, I can say if retrieve data customer dot contains. So what I want to do is whatever unique customer I get, I want to keep on dumping them inside this retrieve distinct customer. So that is why I'm checking if it contains whatever data is coming. Sales line dot what's the name of the field? Sell to. So sell to customer number. So what I'm saying right here is if I find any data inside this, so it's actually if not, if it doesn't contain whatever data is coming, then I want to say retrieve dot add that customer. Alright, so what we did here is not a big deal. We only checked if the customer does not actually exist already, and if it doesn't, we want to add the customer, right? So that is all about this. So at the end of the loop, I want to message. Inside my message, I want to say dash placeholder customer is responsible for the sales of a total sales of is responsible for the total sales. Don't mind my English. Then placeholder 2. Right, so the first one I want to say dash customer, so I would say retrieve customer dot count, which will give me the total customers it had gotten, is responsible for the sales of so we have the sales line dot count, right? So do not get yourself confused. Remember, we are trying to get the distinct customer that actually made the sales. Then at the end of the day, after the loop, because we can't put it inside the loop because the loop is responsible for adding those customers, right? So at the end of it, we are outputting how many customers is responsible for the total sales, which we know it was 10 sales above. So I want to save and publish, and I believe that is it. You shouldn't have any issue. Kindly subscribe to my channel, like, share, This helps me, this inspire me to do more video, to help more beginners, to help even an advanced. So in my next video we are actually going to be looking at posting using AL. So we are going to be actually doing a posting routine using AL language. Drop a comment if you have any special request. I'm going to be attending to that. Alright, so when I click on retrieve data, I should have 4 customers is responsible for the sales total of 10, which is absolutely correct. So we have 20,000, 40,000, 10,000, 30,000. Those are the distinct customers that made sale, that's bought products from our Business Central. Alright, so if you like this video, do subscribe, smash the like button, share, drop a comment, engage with my videos, engage with my profile, follow me on my social medias: Twitter Palito City, Instagram Palito City, LinkedIn Oyobo Ali Aziz. All of these links is on the description below. Alright, I'll see you in the next video.